Okay, first and foremostly, thank you so much for coming along to this meeting for TGAM, WGM, the weekly general meeting of That Guy's a Maniac. Now, on the agenda today, we have a couple of things, but before we jump into it, Farley, I believe you wanted to talk about the socials again?
Yeah, so some of you have been sharing our content, which is absolutely great for the brand, great for the team, and I can personally let you know that the guys really appreciate it. However, please remember that it's all lowercase and all one word. That Guy's a Maniac on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and the blog is www.thatguys.co.uk. I know capitalization actually technically makes it easier for people to read if they're using screen readers or whatever, but unfortunately it's one word lowercase. Thanks. That's all I have this week.
Cool. And do remember that we work in a synergistic, dynamic approach, and it's well worth everybody remembering these ones for every meeting, next meeting, and the last meeting. Now, before we get on to our next topic, we do need to brainstorm some ideas for what Richie and Farley should be talking about in the next episode. Now, we've had some things stick to the wall, but I don't know. Is there anything from the floor? Perhaps some ideas.
I wonder if the readers can spot the exact point at which we'd planned the beginning and at which point we hadn't planned beyond. I have a question.
All right, okay. Oh, let's do quizzes. Yay! Right. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. Another excellent intro, nailed in the box, and it's not even like it's oh god, never mind. Let's move on.
Nailed it in the box.
Nailed it in the box. Oh god.
So carrying on with our dating profile quiz, I guess, or is that how we framed it last time? I don't know.
No, it is not. We framed that in season 1. Last time we framed.
But this would be, if we had a website, like a dating service for various flavors of.
Oh geeks. Yeah. We were going to make the geek compatibility app.
Yeah, and you have to answer all these questions, all these this or this questions.
But we just answer them between ourselves.
Yeah. To find out our compatibility.
Yeah, next on the homoerotic That Guy's a Maniac episode quiz.
Oh, sadly we can't date Richie because the quiz says we couldn't, but it was very close. Shall we do another quiz?
Best 3 out of 10. Why 3 out of 10? 3 out of 5.
That's 3 out of 10. And so let me kick us off. Let's get us in the mood. God, we really have taken a homoerotic turn.
Yeah. Okay. Give it to me, Farley.
Leon A, Claire B, or Claire A, Leon B?
I am a big advocate of. Ooh.
Are you? Do you advocate? Do you go out on the streets campaigning on behalf of your chosen option?
See, the worst thing is, it's definitely Leon A, Claire B for me. She has the shitter time of all. She has to deal with Mr. X and all that sort of stuff. I think that's canon for me. And plus, Leon was disc 1, so you play disc 1, and that is the A scenario.
So you're saying is the male character should. No, I mean I agree with you. For me, it's Leon A, Claire B, and when I played Claire A, Leon B, it just felt like the muscle memory was all on Leon A, Claire B, right? Because I think Claire has the much harder campaign,
but she also has better ways of dealing with it. Leon does get very ammo starved, and he has Well, I mean, it depends if you go out your way and get other things, but like Claire's weapons are just so much better to use against those horrible boss characters.
Mm.
Oh, I suppose you do get the Magnum, but does Claire get the Magnum as well?
Because Claire has the Bogon, which is quite weedy.
No, but you get the explosive rounds, and you're just like, yep. Everything that isn't a normal round is getting used on a boss character. Whereas with me, it's kind of like, right, I've got the Magnum. I'm never going to use the Magnum ever, except on a boss character, maybe, and still miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Story-wise, what the difference is?
I think weirdly, like, does Ada not pop up in the Claire A scenario or something stupid like that?
Yes, there's no Ada. I don't think. And then there's no Brian Irons in Leon, right?
Yeah. But Ada turns up in something to do with Claire's. I can't remember what it is. Oh, this is great. Great conversation right now. Story wise, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, obviously the big plot difference is having Mr. X charging about, which makes you get out of places very, very quickly. And I think, I can't think off the top of my head what the major differences are. It's just that the way that they interact and end up doing things. Leon has... Yeah, because it ends up with Claire on the train at the end trying to save Sherry. Whereas in Leon's B scenario, he's saving Sherry and somehow Claire as well, and like they meet up and they get separated in the train at the very, very end. One of them goes to fight the big pulsating vagina.
Yeah, I think that happens in both.
Yeah,
right?
But except they just split up. It's just one person gets stuck in one place and the other person gets stuck in the other.
Yeah, Leon. Claire has the faff with the vaccine for Sherry, right?
Yeah, in both A and B scenarios.
In both A and B scenarios, and Leon doesn't.
Well, Leon has the looking after Claire and then getting looking after Ada and then getting shot thing going on at the same time. Yeah. And so you've got the Annette stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I fundamentally agree with you. That's just the way I played it and the way it would always be to me is Leon A.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, because he's disc 1 and he is the A scenario, it makes sense that you play the B scenario. You don't play Leon A, then play Leon B back to back, do you?
No, because you couldn't. Until you had to have done them all.
Oh yeah, you had to. Yeah. Of course, once you unlock. Yeah. Cool.
And there's some mad save game nonsense as well, which I always found quite annoying. You'd accidentally save over the wrong one and then not play the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So easy to do as well.
Oh, the worst version of that is on Resident Evil 0, the remaster, I think. I was playing on PlayStation 4. And there's this whole extra mode called Leech Hunter mode. There's also like Wesker mode as well. So I played through the whole game, trying to get all the achievements, of course, because that's why I was doing it. Did quite well, but I missed a few things. So I thought, okay, that's fine. Save over my game. Start a new game, because there was quite an easy one to get. You just have to play it through. That you can only do through playing it twice. And did that, and I thought, okay, now have a look at Leech Hunter mode. You can only play Leech Hunter mode on the save file that you make after you complete the game. So now I have to play if I want to play Leech Hunter mode, and there are 3 achievements related to Leech Hunter mode, I have to play the whole game all the way through.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's the only time you can choose to do it, is when you've completed it and saved it, and you've not started a new game and obviously written over it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Annoying.
Yeah. That's a bit of a fuck you, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'm not. This isn't an official question. This is like a bonus question, I guess. Do you, particularly with Resident Evil, do you just create infinite different save, like go down every single line creating save files?
Yeah, until you can't anymore. So, like for instance, there was a restriction with the memory cards. I think you could only have like 10 slots or something stupid like that for Resident Evil. So yeah, I am the sort of person who makes millions and millions and millions of saves. Although I always get quite like in games like Fallout or Oblivion or any of those Bethesda ones, I do tend to write over my files as much as possible.
Damn right.
Because it's a bit of permanence. I know it can be like, oh shit, I really shouldn't have saved over that because now I need to do something else to get that achievement or something else, you know. But I do tend to write over that one. There was a lot of doing that as well in Dragon Age as well, because you don't want as well. Just I don't know, I think there's a degree of permanency when you write over it a little bit more.
I am a staunch always overwriter.
Always overwriter. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you end up with you start creating like branching path paradoxes. You start thinking, maybe I was doing better in this game. In this version of the game, right? Just generally, and then before you know it, you forget which ones you're active, or they're all you're active.
You create all of your variants.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, so the only reason I used to do it back in the day was because I think for like Final Fantasy VII it was obviously the only way you could watch the FMVs. So I'd have like series of save files which were just before the FMVs because there was that mind blowing. Of course, you watch it again these days.
I used to keep save files for each one of the discs. I don't know why. I felt like that was a sort of branching point. But you would also see, like, there was an evolution in the disgusting colours that you would make in Final Fantasy VII as well.
Yeah.
So my memory card save file, you'd have like one that's pink, one that's blue. Like, obviously, first 5 minutes into the game, didn't even know the menu existed. And then you've got the neon yellow, blue, green, and then you've got like gradients that you've decided to sit and create as well. So you've got these disgusting colours for what was essentially the entirety of the game.
Absolutely love that feature. Playing with like a really lurid, pukey red and bright neon green in the bottom right corner, and then like a horrible yellow in the top left, and more customization of menus, I say.
No, it was brilliant, and it was very sad that they took that feature out for Final Fantasy VIII, and you just get stuck with that grey the entire time. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we've established that it's Leon A, Claire B, and that
you save scum, and I'm a one file only kind of man.
Yeah, because that makes you a better person.
No, I'm not. There's no judgment.
I don't save scum that much.
Just every time you save a game.
Yeah.
Next question. First person or third person?
Third person.
Really?
Yeah.
Straight up third person.
I mean, it depends on the game. Like, for instance, the VAT system and the pausing time system that you have within Bethesda games when you're playing first person lends itself to first person a lot more. And I suppose when you're shooting directly at something, But in general, I would say that I lean towards a third-person game way more. And it really does depend, because like I'm looking at or thinking about when I played Fallout, and when you move to a third person, it just feels awful and bad, and it doesn't feel right. Whereas I am more than happy to run through and play like a Devil May Cry entirely in third person, or well, of course you can't, the first person option.
Oh my god, that would be great. First person Devil May Cry.
But you see what I mean, yeah, right? It's like,
what about Elder Scrolls?
Same as Fallout.
First person.
Always first person, yeah. What I would also say is, what about cars?
Cars and spaceships. So I love going first person in cars and spaceships.
Yeah.
But if you're doing anything that requires any kind of nuance or skill, it has to be third person, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I actually played a lot of Wipeout 2097 in first person.
Yeah.
I really, really liked the experience of it, because it was so fast, but you had to learn the course by doing it in third person.
Yeah.
Basically, you're sort of playing almost in muscle memory and going, wow, look at everything whooshing past me.
Yeah.
This is the future with your big square CRTV.
But yeah, that's almost universally the sensation of first person is cool, but actually I need third person to see what I'm doing. Like GTA, right? I loved the fact that GTA, if you go first person in the car, and you hold the shoulder buttons, and you could look back and see what's happening in the back seat. Or, if you hold one or the other, you're actually looking out the windows. Almost impossible to drive that way.
Yep.
Yeah, very much meant for third person. But what I do like, you get them very rarely these days. Well, first of all, you get them rarely that you can switch between third and first, right? Normally, it's third person, and typically it's the click down a stick, right, to go super close to the behind the head.
Yeah.
Or really, really far away, depending on what you're doing. But yeah, the games that allow you to do both. Customary shout out goes to Dungeon Master. What was the
Dungeon Keeper, where you could go in and take over. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, you could see the world. Or I remember it being mildly mind blowing in Theme Park, where you could pick one of your visitors and zoom in to first person and kind of watch them bumbling around the park and doing the rides. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'd say, especially these days, third person. But back in the day, yeah, first person all the way. Well, first person shooting. So, yeah, I don't really play many first-person shooters these days.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of things that I find wrong with the Borderlands series, but it is truly a first-person shooter. I think it adds to a sense of claustrophobia, and unless the game is forgiving enough to not have people jumping up behind you all the time, then yeah, it's tough. I remember Gears of War when it came out.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be an FPS. Mainly because the big bulky bastard and character that you were playing as took up an awful lot of the screen. I always wanted that just to be a first person shooter. But then at the same time, of course, you had Halo. Do you reckon Halo could work as a third person?
I honestly couldn't tell you if later games you had the option to, should you wish to.
Ah. I
lost track of Halo around Halo OTSD.
mean, I only ever played Halo 3.
So you could tell me there were six Halo games since then, and I would believe you. I'd fully believe you.
Well, so that's the only one I've ever played.
I played through 1, 2, 3, and OTSD. Yeah, got into a weird habit of buying them on launch day and playing through them all the way. And they were good fun.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, like, I only got Halo 3 because I think I just got my 360 and I was like, oh, this is a new game that's coming out. Oh, I can get it early. So I was super excited to play it early and get my name on the leaderboards early. But also, Halo 3 was part of these horrible online experiences that I had where you could hear people talking at you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I'm a sensitive soul. I just can't handle.
No, I had the same with Gears of War. Yeah. And just that. Ugh.
Shut up and go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Mean
boy. Yeah. Meanies.
Next question. Well, there's two related questions, I guess. Maybe this is obvious. Maybe this is not. For you, StarCraft or Warcraft?
Huh. Right. Okay. There are a lot of pros and cons for both.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm ignoring World of Warcraft. I'm just talking.
Good. I was going to say. Let's just cut that out.
Okay, so a little bit of background, very very quickly.
Yeah.
I played StarCraft and StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
I only played Warcraft 3.
Yes.
So I never played Warcraft 1 and 2. Or I think I did, but only to a very, very cursory playthrough sort of thing. I remember boats, a lot of boats, and not really liking that. Maybe that was Warcraft 2 or something. But yeah, so as much as I mean, I really did like StarCraft. It was still pixely. It was still pre-polygonism. And then Warcraft 3 had sort of took that to a brand new level. But Warcraft 3 offered you so much as well. You had a great big long campaign. You had 4 different races to play as.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas StarCraft only had 3. And then on top of that, you had the whole campaign with Rexar. Do you remember that?
No, remind me.
So there was what was called a hero campaign.
Yeah. I was going to say that's the other thing that Warcraft had was. I mean, they both kind of mixed up the RTS missions, right? In the one time, sometimes it would be, here you go, here's a map, build a base, go nuts. Yeah. Others it would be, you've got
usually that was the last level in the campaign. You know, before that you had here dick about, oh look, you found a new character or you found a new class. You know, like, okay, great.
You've got three guys and 3 tanks, and go and investigate this thing, and then you've rescued a dog, whatever. But in Warcraft 3, you had much more flexibility with as you were saying, with the heroes, which is obviously what ended up being
spawning Dota and League of Legends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it allowed for a lot more different mission styles.
No, but what I'm talking about isn't actually anything to do with RTS. They had a completely separate hero mission, which didn't involve building or making things like that. It was Rexar was going around the world of Azeroth, and he was like meeting people, and there was some fighting going on, but it was only between heroes and heroes. It wasn't like you weren't sending and directing pawns and peons and all that sort of stuff.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But having said that, I think I prefer StarCraft. By far.
Okay. Right, let's smack this down to another sub question. StarCraft, human, Zerg, or Protoss?
Yeah, well, that was my my related question. Is Terran, Zerg, or Protoss?
Yeah.
We can just rule out Protoss, right?
Why?
They're a bit boring.
Yeah.
Or were you going to say was Protoss your favourite?
No. I mean, I think we probably have the same favourite, but I wouldn't rule them out. Like, I don't know. Okay, go. What's your number?
Well, what
one
was
then?
their? What was their? I think they were the advanced ones to play, right?
Yeah, but they had like the very, very cool functionality of allowing you to mind control another unit. So if you were able to mind control a builder unit, you could build absolutely everything. So you, or am I mixing that with Zerg? No. Yeah. No, it's Protoss. So you could make every human unit. You could make every Zerg unit because you mind controlled their builder unit.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the long play. That was when you would play, a custom campaign of StarCraft with the AI down on 1, so that you could build absolutely everything.
Yeah, and just spend 17 days on this one, like easy campaign where, on like day 3 the AI just taps out, right? It just does weird things, or just stops building altogether, or just keeps building like I don't know, storage facilities with nothing to store in them. Wants to make your perfect army until the computer pushes. I think one of the reasons why I like StarCraft over Warcraft was because all the little sound bites when you clicked on the character.
Yes, I know, and they just keep going, and that still exists in World of Warcraft as well. Every single character you can click on, they go through all of the things. What is nature's call?
Need a light.
But what's your favourite in StarCraft?
Probably the Terran.
Really?
Yeah, because I liked the Zerg, but I wasn't very good at them.
In what way? Wasn't
Just
very good.
In the whole way you have to think slightly differently about them.
Because you can only build on the creeping ground sort of thing.
Yeah, or do you have to build the vines, and then it's all kind of about swarming, and then the way you have to get very good at burying and unburying your units.
That was so cool. Yeah.
Which I found difficult to kind of manage, whereas with the Terrans you kind of knew where the easiest ones to play, I think. Plus, I think all the characterization as well, like the flight of the Valkyries lady in the spaceship, or the very frank German woman in the spaceship, and all of that. And I'm largely because the fucking cool tanks.
It's the helicopters, isn't it? It's when they come in. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man.
Yeah. Endless, no longer findable on the internet remixes using all the StarCraft soundbites.
Fantastic. Oh man, that's.
How about you?
Zerg straight away. I loved the alternative gameplay that they had I like playing as the cool, creepy aliens. And like, just it was slightly different. I think you were infesting things rather than and I don't know. I suppose that again, as if you were to, yeah, I'm just gonna say Zerg. And to be honest, I quite enjoyed Protoss. I would actually say Terran last for me because they're the most generic of the lot. But again, I'm not like a top end StarCraft player. I was shit at StarCraft.
Oh, yeah.
I am still shit at StarCraft. There,
Yeah.
in fact, in StarCraft 2, there is a level I haven't been able to get past and haven't played it since. Even though I have all the extra expansion and stuff like that, like, looking forward to it. Like, oh, great, I can't wait to play as a Zerg.
Yeah.
But I can't get past this one level in the human campaign before I'm allowed to.
Great story. There's amazing cutscenes. That's when Blizzard was really leading the way with its CGI cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame that StarCraft never spilled out in the way that Warcraft did.
Yeah, well, I mean, World of StarCraft could still happen,
Yeah. I mean, it's always the way, right? If there's something that has like a sci-fi and a fantasy element to it,
they can mirror each other. Yeah.
But the sci-fi one always struggles, I think, just because you've got shooting, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Mass Effect has got more critical acclaim than Dragon Age does, I think.
That's true, but then I'd say Dragon Age fans are much more ardent fans. You're either like deep Dragon Age fan or not so deep Mass Effect fan.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so back to Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Human, orc, night elf, or undead?
I honestly can't remember playing the night elf.
They're the ones that had the wisps, so the trees never get cut down, but they would just go around the trees and absorb wood.
No, and then I remember the humans just being like all your outfits that you unlocked in World of Warcraft. Little blue night guys.
Well, no, you got dwarves and you had gnomes and you.
Yeah, the dwarf. I quite like the dwarf guys. This is my boomstick guys. Those are cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say humans.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the undeads?
No, I never really liked the styling of the undead. I still don't like the Warcraft
man.
styling of the undead. I don't like something about the design, the colour. I don't. Yeah. Not proper and undead to me. In some internal logic rationale. It's like, oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not like zombies. They are very much still people with thought. And yeah, I don't know. I like the abominations and things like that. That was quite cool. I don't know. I would definitely say undeads as well. But of course, I'm just a big old edgelord.
That's true. It's true.
Zergs and undeads.
Zergs and undead. So alternative.
But yeah, you definitely made me want to reinstall. Although you can't play Warcraft 3 anymore. You have to play Warcraft 3 Reforged.
What is Reforged?
Do you not know about this?
No.
Blizzard gave it to another company to remaster, as it were. And apparently it's shit. I don't know how it's shit or why it's shit. But apparently everybody hates it. And like it was people were outraged and wanted their money back and all that sort of stuff. I'd buy it, except that I would only buy it on sale. But yeah, All I know is Warcraft 3 Reforged has got a big backlash, and therefore I never bothered to buy it.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know how you can mess that up. What happened to RTSs?
I don't know. Maybe RTS elements. I don't know. Like, I used to play a lot of RTSs.
Yeah. There was always a. There's a spot on the smorgasbord for an RTS, a good RTS or two.
Like, I never really, I never got into Command and Conquer on a great scale, but I used to play like alternative ones. There was a Star Trek one, which people don't rate very highly, but I had the most fun ever playing, and I think I've actually talked about it on this podcast. Really cool storyline, where you actually can use Picard to fight versus Locutus, so you can play as the Borg. Guess which my favourite race is? But you can play as the Klingons, the Romulans, Federation, and the Borg. It was a good one. And the Star Wars one as well. There was a really cool Star Wars RTS.
Well, that brings me on to one of my other questions.
Oh, all right, okay. Go.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
For games,
in general, on aggregate. Because I feel this question is a little bit difficult because there's not been much great Star Trek recently.
No. Well, what do you mean, like TV series?
Just in terms of volume. So, back in the 90s, which is what we always fucking talk about, Star Wars were just kind of these films and a few spin-offs. But Star Trek was, do you remember when you'd come home from school and there'd just be a rotation of New Generation, Deep Space Nine,
Voyager,
Voyager, yeah. And so it kind of dominated on a local level. And then the prequel trilogy came out for Star Wars. And then Star Trek just started to... Maybe it wasn't true. I don't know. In my memory, there felt like there were bigger gaps between the films and the series. And then the kind of the reboot films were okay. And then,
sorry, I have to put a pin in that one. I really dislike the reboot films. I don't get what they are or what they're doing. I watched one of them, and to this day, I can't tell you what happened in it. I remember there was action sequences.
There's some explosions.
Yeah, and the lens flare, of course. And then there was Chris Pine on a bike at the start. And then somehow, through unbelievable means, he becomes captain of the ship. And it isn't the Enterprise, and I was just like, this film doesn't go anywhere. And oh, wait a minute, did Leonard Nimoy turn up in it as well at some point? I'm from another timeline or something.
Oh, I don't know. He's in everything, right? I was really... Spoilers for Discovery. Really disappointed when Discovery's like, oh yeah, and Spock's here as well. I was like, fuck off.
No, I meant Leonard Nimoy as in Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Not Spock.
I know. Oh, in it as himself.
No, he's in it as old Spock from a different timeline.
Yeah.
See, I think it's that I just kind of... What is this alternate timeline pish? Why does it need to happen? Because nobody needs to see younger version of the original series, guys. Just do a new fucking ship. You don't need these people. You don't need Simon Pegg putting on the worst Scottish accent. You don't need... Oh my god. It just is fine. Just do another thing. But yeah, basically, the first film, I don't really know what happened. I know there's a timeline split where somebody nicked future technology or something, and that's why everything looks better on the Enterprise. And that didn't sit with me as a plot device at all for Star Trek. So I'm just not interested. Now, what was it called? When Generations ended, you then got like 3 or 4 films like coming out of them. You had Generations, and you had Insurrection, and you had the Borg one as well, First Contact. I mean, they got gradually worse and worse. The worst one was, I think it was Insurrection, where you've just got a conversation between Beverly and Troy talking about, my tits feel firmer, and you're just like, what is this film? But yeah, it was something to do with a planet where people were aging backwards or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Although Tom Hardy as a young Picard was quite good. The young Romulan version of him. Do you remember that?
I don't. Have you watched Lower Decks or Picard?
I have watched Picard, Lower Decks, and Discovery. Yeah.
Is Picard and Lower Decks any good?
Picard is great, fantastic. It's basically pandering to everything you wanted after watching, Generations, or indeed Voyager. I just wish it was longer. Like what happened in I think the space of 10 episodes, I would have been happy with a classic, Star Trek Next Generation. 26 episode series. There's loads of time they could have had. There was great things happen in it. Loads of Borgy stuff, some cool new characters as well. The ending was shite.
No spoilers.
Well, no, the ending of the first season was complete shite, and it makes you go, what? Why did you even fucking bother doing that?
Oh, that's a shame. How do English people watch Picard?
How do English people watch Picard?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a run up to a joke.
No, it's not. I'm asking on behalf of myself how we watch Picard.
Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's free on Amazon as well.
Wow, I might spin that up then.
Yeah. Or I think it's Amazon Prime actually. But
I just assumed it was on one of those, those weird ones that we don't.
No. It's an Amazon series, and they're doing a season 2, which is good. But good. Yeah, definitely. If you like Generations and watched any of Voyager and DS9, you will be more than happy with the outcome of this season. It's funny and good, but yeah, the last episode is a bit. What? Why? Why do this?
So I think it's clear from our discussions and how we've not really talked about Star Wars at all. We're both leaning towards Star Trek.
I mean, yes. I had fun with Jedi power battles, and I really do not want to talk about Shadows of the Empire again on the fucking podcast. But I reckon I'm more of a Star Trek fan than I am a Star Wars fan, and those first 3 films, as in the new ones that were released from '99 onwards or whatever it was, I mean, they're alright. I don't actually think I've seen the third one more than once. It's like, okay, right, I can say I've seen it now. Not that interested. I was excited about 7, 8, and 9. And I went to see each one of them in the cinemas. The multiple cinemas. That being said, it's not like the original 3 from the 70s, where I would watch them over and over again. Yeah. I have seen 7, 8, and 9. In fact, I missed one bit, when I went out for a piss. And I still don't care. I would not like to watch it again. Apparently, it was a very, very key moment where Harrison Ford talks to Ben. But then, yeah, I'm not fussed. And I think the story was convoluted. And I think it was too Disney-fied. I think I've talked about this before. It's like everything is a very glib joke, and that cheapens what Star Wars is, And I think the best part of it was Luke Skywalker, and then I don't think he got the service that he deserved.
Yeah, I mean, Mandalorian.
I've not seen any of the Mandalorian.
It made up for it, I think.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, worth watching. I like Star Trek a lot, and I think particularly the Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine. I think Deep Space Nine is probably my favourite, which I know is not a popular opinion out there. But it feels a bit like DC. Star Trek feels a little bit like DC to me.
To the Marvel, yeah. You know what? You're probably right. Yeah.
And if only Star Trek could sort its act out in a way that Star Wars is very polished, then that'd be the clear winner. Yeah. So it's not to say I dislike Star Wars. A lot of time for Star Trek. Obviously, haven't been keeping up to date with it, so not exactly fair to judge.
But yeah, you mentioned Lower Decks as well. That's on Amazon as well, and definitely worth watching.
Isn't it by the Rick and Morty guy there?
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe the animator. But there's nothing Rick and Morty about it at all.
Okay.
No, it's fun and good, and it does poke fun at itself, but you forgive it because it's a cartoon,
Yeah.
They make fun meta jokes referring to, the old, servers, or as I like to call them, TOS, the original series guys and stuff like that.
Nice.
That's fun stuff. And yes, it also has guest stars on it as well. No spoilers.
Is it Ash from Evil Dead?
No, it's Wesley Crusher.
See, did you just spoil it?
It's not really. But yeah, it's time for him to have his own series. Kicking about around the galaxy with the Traveller.
He's got his own online empire now.
Oh yeah, of course. What was it he did? Was he on? He was like
Geek
a regular.
He did a lot of things with Geek and Sundry, and then I don't know what. I think he's had a YouTube channel. Or something.
Was he not like a regular on like The Big Bang Theory or something like that?
Ugh.
I know. Yeah.
That's that whole thing. So money. So yeah, I think ultimately Star Trek.
Yeah.
Although Star Trek games haven't been as good as Star Wars games.
No.
Star Wars games has been curated as it was.
Yeah. They've got the ridiculous Star Trek Bridge Crew one, which is just not very. It's not very engaging.
That's always their problem. They've never managed to bottle the essence of Star Trek into a game. They're like, oh, let's put Star Trek on RTS.
I mean, it would need to be done episodically. That is the way to make a Star Trek game. It's just as straight up, have. Several episodes, have a beginning theme tune.
Yeah.
Was it Lost? The game did this thing where whenever you restarted the game, it would say previously on Lost.
Yeah,
and it would show you, and it'd do a sort of rundown of what you did. You need that.
Dude, if you ever played fucking Resident Evil Revelation.
What's that one?
Exactly what that does. Previously on Resident Evil Revelations.
That sounds really cool.
Oh yeah, you'd love it. You'd actually love it. But yes, I think that's the problem. It doesn't. You can't just do what they've done with Star Trek and shove it into another genre and go, hey, here's the Star Trek RTS, and it needs that.
That being said,
back when,
I said,
back when Traveller's Tales were doing all the, before their engine just fucking fell apart. Something like that would probably be the best vehicle for Star Trek.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
it's all choice based. Oh, here's the planet. We've got this disease, but then do we break the Prime Directive to cure for the disease? And you would be like, oh yeah, fuck, what do I do? As the timer whizzes down, you've got to choose between.
I definitely think it'd be more fun to have like an RPG element. You're playing as a crew member. You're going through. You're leveling up. You're doing missions. But with a greater plot behind it as well.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
If it was more like an MMO, but you actually crewed a big ship. How many staff that has?
I'm starting to sound like EVE Online.
Yeah, yeah. Except if you're not one of the lead members, your job is just pressing buttons down in engineering all day.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. Just nudging.
You definitely need to see lower decks.
Yeah, nudging your engineering proficiency ever so slightly, but you can't do anything else. You can't leave engineering. When there's a battle, all you have to do is slide some things around and occasionally put a fire out. That would be my ideal Star Trek game. And occasionally you'd randomly get picked for an away mission.
Yep, exactly.
To be hideously underskilled and underleveled.
Alright. Okay, yeah, no, I think I agree with you. But like I was saying, that RTS that came out, God, in 1996 or something like that.
Yeah.
Got a really good storyline to it. It's good fun. It's got actual proper voice acting in it as well. And it scratches that RTS itch as well. I can't even remember what it's called, but
I know, and I think Star Trek's one of those things where there are actually 400,000 games, and there was an MMO, and there was a Traveller's Tales.
Yeah.
You just don't remember any of them because you never played them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
There we go.
So what was our questions again? Let's do a quick recap.
Questions were Leon A, Claire B, or Claire A, Leon B.
And we both agree it's Leon A, Claire B.
Yes. Warcraft or StarCraft?
Warcraft or StarCraft, and I think we ended up. Well, I'm definitely going for Warcraft because it's got more to it. Yeah.
We disagree. StarCraft. Zerg, Terran, or Protoss? You went for Zerg and Protoss.
You did not go for Protoss.
No, I didn't. I went Terran. And Star Wars or Star Trek? We both went for Star Trek.
Yeah, because we said nothing about Star Wars.
I feel there's also like a big UK America split between Trekkies and Warsies or whatever they're called.
I don't know. What are they called? Nerds?
Weeps?
We said nerds? How rude.
How rude.
Say the thing.
That guy's a maniac?
Why'd he bite me? Engage!